In this video right now, we are going to have the, let's just call this the boss, the enemy, and this guy is going to shoot at the player randomly, so with a delay. And now what I wanted this guy to do is always face the player, so that's important when he's shooting. So I want to find cube 2. I have cube selected right here. You see in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, it'll tell me what I have selected. It says cube 2. So over here, I'm going to look for cube 2. So I want to add an always. And then up here, I want to add a steering. So where's the steering? I'm going to close this up. Close this up. Close, 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 close. So I'm looking at a collision. That's the kill. I'm going to close that up. I don't need to look at it. It's from last video. So what I'm looking at is always, and it's going to cube 2 here, always steer. So I'm going to hook this up. Excuse me. It's always going to steer towards this guy. So you always want him either looking at or moving at. So in this video example, I don't want this guy chasing me, so I'm just going to make the velocity 0 so he's not actually moving, but he's still going to be facing me. So let's see if that works. Nope. Very good. So that didn't work. Always target object seeking path following. Let's see. All right, well, let's try a different facing axis. X-axis is what I want. I want the negative x-axis. Self-terminating, visualize velocity, turn speed, path following. He wants to seek. So he's not following me whatsoever. Alright, let's go and try something before this video becomes a wasted point. Alright, let's try, instead of edit object, add object, steering, where's steering? We're going to change this to an edit object, track 2. We're going to use the negative y-axis, and I'm not setting up a motion to this. If you want to, you can do steering, or you can also set up a motion to here, saying that he's going to move however fast on the X and the Y, so that would be hooked up to this, but if you have questions on that, I can help you with that. So he's going to be tracking to this object, the player, so that should make him rotate. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. So that's what I want. Alright, so far so good. I'm going to click on this character right here. I'm going to press A to deselect and Shift to A. I'm going to add an empty. Where is the empty? Plane axis. I'm going to move it right in front of this guy, okay? And now I'm going to, with the empty selected, hold Shift, click on the player, or the enemy, Control P, and link it to that object. Now this object is going to, on a delay, edit object, add object. Always. Repeat. Alright, this might work without an always, so I might delete that in the end, but I need to make a bullet for this enemy that's going to be fired on the negative x-axis, because that's the one that points forward on this guy. So I'm going to go to an empty layer, and I'm going to Shift S, cursor to center, Shift A, create a, let's just make something, a cylinder that's easy to see, scale it down on the z-axis. I'm going to scale it up on the z. I'm going to rotate it on the y, 180. Whoops. R, X, no, R, Y, 90. Jeez, R, Y, 90. Okay, I'm going to press Control A and reset the rotation and scale since I changed the way it looked. Let's press P and see what it looks like, okay? And I'm going to add an always on this. Actually, I need to make it smaller, so scale down again. Scale on the X, make it longer, just so it's obvious. Okay, now I'm going to Control A, reset rotation and scale. This is going to be always moving on the negative x-axis. Let's just make it negative 0.25, and this has a property of bullet. And this is dynamic, it is collision bounds and it's locked on these axes. So I'm going to press P after I give it a, I'm going to give it a color of, let's say, whatever, bright green. And press P and it works. Okay. Now I need to go to layer 1. When this guy collides, with bullet, it is going to end itself. So over here I'm going to add the actuator, and then I'm going to add, let's see, I'm going to add scene. So this is going to be scene restart. So I'm going to drag and click this right here. Excuse me. So now I'm going to press Control S. Now when this guy collides with a bullet, it is going to scene restart. And now we need to set this up correctly. So this is going to set to a delay of 30, and I need to know the name of that bullet. So I'm going to go back to this layer. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to say down here that that's cylinder. So I'm going back to layer 1, and I'm clicking on the empty again. Add object is going to be cylinder, and this should say 30 is about a second. So every 30 seconds, it should repeatedly add a bullet. Okay, that ended himself. So he's interacting with bullet, so it's probably not smart to add the property name of this bullet. I'm just going to add it bullets. Okay, and then press enter. Now I'm going to go back to layer 1, click on this, so when this guy collides with bullets, so what was happening was this guy was colliding with the interaction of the bullet because this empty is so close to him. So now it doesn't. It scoots him backwards though, so you definitely want to scoot this out so it's not hitting him. Okay, now it's not affecting him, and the bullet is not actually hitting the player, so you want to lower it. Okay, and it works. So I want you to add that to the capability of the enemy to be able to shoot at you.